Durham failed to take maximum batting points by just 2 runs on the last day of their LV County Championship match with Sussex at the Brighton and HoveJobs.com county ground, but Kumar Sangakkara's excellent 100 ensured that the match was drawn. A draw was always likely as the final day began, especially after the two captains couldn't agree on a forfeiture, with Durham starting on 137 for 2, needing a further 219 runs to avoid the follow-on. Sussex required 18 wickets on the last day and got the one of Scott Borthwick in the first 10 minutes. He was out for his overnight score of 84. Sangakkara had to work really hard for his runs under the grey skies on the previous day, but with the sun on his back now, he looked in fine fettle indeed. He'd begun the day on 30 and had moved to his first 50 for Durham in his third innings inside the first hour. He got there with a typically classy boundary, his 8th, to get to the 50 mark for the 116th time in his phenomenal first-class career. He needed 116 deliveries for this one. He lost Michael Richardson at the other end when he was LBW to Luke Wells, for whom this was just the 9th wicket of his career. Richardson did not like the decision one little bit. It was a wicket which may have given Sussex some hope, but in truth they had too much to do after so much of this match had been lost to the weather. 2 or 3 more wickets before lunch might have made it interesting, but Sangakkara and Paul Collingwood ensured that didn't happen. It was their partnership which finally and fundamentally consigned this game to a draw. Sangakkara did have a moment of fortune just before the break, but this edge off James Anyan flew wide of the slips to the third-man boundary. So the Sri Lankan was closing in on the 47th first-class 100 of his remarkable career as the afternoon session got underway, and a flick through mid-wicket took him to 3 figures for the 3rd time in the county game, his other 2 coming against the county he's now representing. He'd needed 202 balls to get there, from which he'd found the boundary 14 times. He would have had a few battles with Collingwood over the years on the international stage, but now these two were working together to ensure safety. Collingwood played a bright innings filled with the kind of shots we've all become used to over the years. A bottom-handed cut for 4 off Steve McGoffin took him to his 50, the 98th time he's got that far in the first-class game. Only 61 balls have been required for this one, and that was the former England all-rounder's 7th boundary. Soon afterwards, he helped his side to their 3rd batting bonus point. With the sun out and the runs behind him, Sangakkara was able to change gears now. This nonchalant flick off Luke Wright brought him a maximum. He was playing with real freedom by now, and with his captain also producing some quality shots at the other end, this pair added 144 runs for the 5th wicket in 30 overs together. Now the only thing to concern the two teams was bonus points. Sussex closed in on a 2nd with the ball when Collingwood, on a 74 made from only 78 deliveries, was out shortly after he cleared the rope with this shot. The follow-on target, if that still mattered, was then avoided after Sangakkara was joined by Phil Mustard. It was now just a matter of how many runs the Sri Lankan would end up with as he sent another ball from Ashar Zaidi over the rope. It was now a case of stand and deliver as far as he was concerned. His hard work from the previous day had now allowed him to move into one-day mode, a mode he's been equally good at over the years. Being an umpire now became a dangerous occupation. Sangakkara had moved quickly to 159 when he was out on the stroke of tea. Another big hit was held on the boundary's edge by Matt Machin, which left Durham 11 balls to get 8 more runs for their 5th batting bonus point. That they didn't manage to do. Mustard had a hit and hope on the restart and spooned a catch to Wells after making 20. So in the end, Durham made 398 for 7 from 110 overs, so this maximum from Usman Arshad made no difference as far as the points in this match were concerned. It was now all about a bit of fun before the handshakes. Michael Yardy took the gloves and denied Wells a 2nd wicket with a drop. See, it's not that easy behind the stumps, is it? It gave Arshad and Mark Wood the chance to improve their batting averages as the game ended, with Wells being joined in the bowling effort by Ben Brown, who was given his first ever bowled in a first-class game. It may be a while before he gets another go. When the game was ended, Durham had made 451 for 7, and for the 2nd match in a row, they'd earned a draw after a long time in the field in the first innings. They took 11 points to Sussex's 12. Durham now head to Taunton for their next 4-day game starting on Monday. while Sussex next take on a whole team of Sri Lankans at Hove on Sunday.